The curse of the werewolf in the secluded village of Ravenswood, nestled deep within the shadowy embrace of ancient forests, there was a legend that haunted the hearts of its inhabitants. It spoke of a curse, one that transformed a man into a beast under the light of the full moon. This curse, whispered about in hushed tones, was said to have plagued the village for centuries, leaving a trail of fear and sorrow in its wake. The village itself was a place of stark beauty, where towering trees stood like sentinels, their branches weaving a canopy that barely let the sun's rays through. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth, and the distant howl of wolves was a familiar sound to those who called Ravenswood home. Among the villagers was a young man named Elias. Known for his gentle demeanor and kind heart, Elias was a healer who tended to the sick and wounded with a rare compassion. Despite his quiet life, there was a restlessness within him, a sense of unease that he could never quite shake. He often found himself gazing into the forest, drawn to its dark depths by an inexplicable force. One fateful evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Elias was returning from a visit to a neighboring village. The path through the forest was bathed in silvery light, casting eerie shadows that danced and flickered. As he walked, a sudden chill ran down his spine, and he felt an unfamiliar presence watching him. Before he could react, a monstrous figure lunged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Elias fought desperately, but the creature's strength was overwhelming. Just as he felt himself losing consciousness, the beast retreated, leaving him bruised and blooded on the forest floor. When Elias awoke, he was in his own bed, his wounds bandaged and his body aching. His memory of the attack was hazy, but he knew something terrible had happened. Over the next few days, he noticed strange changes in himself. His senses were heightened, his strength increased, and he felt a growing aggression that frightened him. Elias sought counsel from the village elder, a wise woman named Isolde who was known for her knowledge of the arcane. Isolde listened intently as Elias recounted his encounter in the forest, her expression grave. "The curse of the werewolf," she murmured. "It is an ancient affliction, one that transforms a man into a beast under the full moon. The bite of a werewolf transfers the curse, and it seems you have been marked." Elias felt a wave of despair wash over him. "Is there no cure?" he asked, his voice trembling. Isolde shook her head sadly. "The curse is powerful and difficult to break. It binds the soul to the beast, and only the strongest of wills can hope to control it. There are legends of a remedy, but they are few and far between." Determined to free himself from the curse, Elias decided to leave Ravenswood in search of a cure. He bid farewell to his family and friends, vowing to return once he had conquered the beast within. Armed with Isolde's guidance and his own resolve, he set out on a journey that would take him to distant lands and test his strength and spirit. Elias traveled for months, seeking out scholars, healers, and mystics who might hold the key to his salvation. He faced many challenges along the way, each full moon bringing the dreaded transformation that turned him into a creature of the night. Despite the hardships, he never lost hope, driven by the memory of his village and the people he loved. In a remote mountain monastery, Elias met an old monk named Brother Gabriel, who had spent his life studying ancient texts and forbidden knowledge. Gabriel listened to Elias's story with great interest and agreed to help him. "There is an ancient ritual," Gabriel explained. "One that requires great courage and purity of heart. It is said to separate the man from the beast, but it is dangerous and the outcome is uncertain." With Gabriel's guidance, Elias prepared for the ritual. They gathered rare herbs and performed cleansing rites, purifying both body and soul. On the night of the full moon, under the monk's watchful eye, Elias entered a sacred circle and began the ritual. As the moon reached its zenith, Elias felt the familiar agony of transformation. But this time, he fought against it with all his might, focusing on the purity of his heart and his desire to free himself from the curse. The pain was excruciating, but he held on, chanting the ancient words Gabriel had taught him. Just as he felt himself slipping into darkness, a surge of light enveloped him, and he collapsed to the ground. When he awoke, the moon had set, and he felt different. The beast within him was silent, and he sensed a profound change. Brother Gabriel smiled, his eyes filled with relief. "You did it, Elias. You have freed yourself from the curse." Grateful beyond words, Elias thanked Gabriel and began his journey back to Ravenswood. When he arrived, the villagers greeted him with joy and relief. He had returned not just as their healer, but as a symbol of hope and resilience. Elias resumed his life in the village, his experiences having given him a deeper understanding of strength and compassion. The legend of the werewolf curse continued to be told in Ravenswood, but now it included the tale of the young healer who had conquered it. And so, the story of Elias became a part of the village's lore, a testament to the power of determination and the enduring light of hope even in the darkest of times. Ravenswood thrived, its people living in harmony with the forest, their hearts fortified by the knowledge that courage and love could overcome even the most formidable of curses.